You live now? Check the sound and everything. All right, check. Yeah, we good. Let me see. Can I even share this? Let me see. I can't even do that. Shalom, Israel. There we go. We got some people tonight. Shalom Yabashim Shabrakta to the brothers. Shalom Yahweh Shema Bashim Yahushua to the sisters. And as you know, today is the Sabbath service. Salakia, we got started a little later today. We had some technical difficulties. Today, for the topic, we are going to be going over the destruction of the modern day woman. Now, we went over a few times throughout our classes of the role between a man and a woman and what a wicked woman is and whatnot. But today we're going to be focusing more on how the roles were switched throughout society between Black, Hispanic, and Native Indian men and women, and why it continues to destroy our nation today. We're going to be touching more on not so much just necessarily a wicked woman, but more of a masculine woman, a woman that has been made to take the role of a brother today, and vice versa, brothers who have been taught to be more, for lack of a better term, submissive and effeminate today, right. And why that continues to destroy our nation and our families, and why it does that. So we'll give everybody a few moments to check in, and then we'll get started with the prayers. And today we're going to be going over 1 Kings chapter 21. That's what we're going over today. And we're talking about Ahab and Jezebel. I'm not going to give it out too much. We'll cover it throughout class. We'll give everybody about a minute or two to tune in, and we'll get started. That's Ahab? Salakia, Ahab. I said Ahab.
I thought you said Lahab at first.
No, I said Ahab. Salakia. Still working on the Hebrew. Salakia. Trooper Rahab, Shalom on Christ.
Yeah, go ahead and check in, y'all. Check in.
From Las Vegas, Nevada. Glad to have you, brother.
What's going on, Rahab? Shalom, man.
Oh, dude. We'll just get started now.
Ready to get it?
Yeah.
Let's get it.
All right, we're going to be getting started with the prayers. Brothers, remember to have your heads uncovered. Sisters, remember to have your heads covered. And with that, Imajim, just me and the brother up here. Sorry, speak.
La Yasharala,
which means to Israel.
Well, that was wonderful.
Sorry, speak. Imagine upon Ya'akodam, which means to rise and face the east. We're going to be getting started with the Lord's Prayer in the Hebrew. All right, the Lord's Prayer in the Hebrew. Abanawa, Shabbat Shemayim, Kodash, Ayah, Shemka, Yahweh, Malakufka, Tabaa, Batazaka, Ayah, I.S.U.P.K, Baratiza, Kawa, Ayah, Bashamayim, Nathanawa, Bakam, Call, Yawam, Wasalaknawa, Kawapnawa, Kazalaknawa, Kabawatinawa, Walaa, Kabiyanawa, Saiwan, Abal, Hawashinawa, Mayan, Rai, Kaya, Laka, Hamalakwa, Wa'ala, Watapara, Aman. The Lord's Prayer in the English. Our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Yahweh, thy kingdom come. Thy will be done. In earth, as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread. And forgive us our debts. As we forgive our debtors. And lead us not into temptation. But deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom. And the power. And the glory. Forever. So be it. Hakak, which is the power in the Hebrew. Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Baba Kasha, Mathanawa, Hakak, Larapa'ah, Call, Makala, Wakal, Madawa, Hakak, Latahar, Ha, Matzazariah, Hakak, Lahayim, Hamathim, Hakak, Ayel, Rakawaf, Atama, Garasham, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, for water. Amen. Hakak, the power in the English. Yahweh. In the name of Yahushai. Please. Give us the power. The power to heal. All manner of sickness. And all manner of disease. The power to cleanse the lepers. The power to raise the dead. The power against unclean spirits. To cast them out. In the name of Yahushai. Thank you. So be it. The blessings in the Hebrew. Barakatah Yahweh. Wayahushai. Wamaka'ala. Wa'alahayim. Matazabi'ah. Alawap Yahanna. Ha'alawapyam. Hasaronyam. Hakwatazayoyim. Hakayayoyim. Waha'awakyam. Yahweh. Ba'ashem. Yahushai. The water. Amen. The blessings in the English. Bless you, Yahweh. And Yahushai. And Michael. And the angels. Commanding General Yahanna. The generals. The captains. The officers. The troopers. And the sisters. Yahweh. In the name of Yahushai. Thank you. So be it. Psalms 121 in the Hebrew. Asha'ah, Ayunya, Ahoyim, Mayan, Yaba'ah, Izoya, Ma'ayim, Yahweh, I.S.U.P.K, Shemayim, Waratiza, Yatan, Amawat, Magorka, Yanawam, Shemorka, Anah, Yanawam, Wala'ah, Yashun, Shamar, Yasharala, Yahweh, Yashamorka, Shamorka, Yahweh, Tazolka, Ayad, Yemka, Yawamam, Hashamash, La'ah, Yakaka, Wayarath, Walayala, Yahweh, Yashamorka, Makal, Rai, Yashamar, Atnapashka, Yahweh, Yashamar, Taza'afka, Ma'ita, Wa'ai, Psalms 121 in the English. I will lift up mine eyes into the hills. From whence cometh my help? My help cometh from the Lord. Which made heaven and earth. He will not suffer thy foot to be moved. He that keepeth thee will not slumber. Behold, he that keepeth Israel shall neither slumber nor sleep. The Lord is thy keeper. The Lord is thy shade upon thy right hand. The sun shall not smite thee by day. Nor the moon by night. The Lord shall preserve thee. From all evil. He shall preserve thy soul. The Lord shall preserve thy going out. And thy coming in. In this time forth. And even forevermore. Psalms 83 in the Hebrew.
Alahayim,
Alahayim,
O, Lamiyah,
Lamiyah,
Laka,
Laka,
O, Lakarash,
Lakarash,
Lashakwat,
Lashakwat,
O, Kaya,
Kaya,
Hana,
Hana,
Yabika,
Yabika,
Yahama,
Hayama,
Yawan,
Yawam,
Ra'ash,
Ash,
Al,
Io,
Amaka,
Amaka,
Ya'ayma,
Ya'ayma,
Sawadah,
Sawadah,
Waita,
Waita,
Yaitazawa,
Waitazawa, Kazapawanyaka,
Amarwa,
Amarwa, Lakawa,
Manakakida,
Wakakinam,
Magoya,
Magaya,
Wala'ah,
Wala'ah,
Yazakar,
Yazakar,
Shum,
Sham,
Yasharala,
Sharala,
Awada,
Awada,
Kaya,
Kaya,
Naitazawa,
Naitazawa,
Laba,
Laba,
Yakadwa,
Yakabwa,
Al Yaka,
Ayaka,
Baryath,
Barath,
Yakarathwa,
Yakawatwa,
Aliyah,
Ayah,
Adawam,
Adawam,
Wa,
Wa,
Yashamai,
Yashamai,
Alayum,
Alam,
Mawa'aba,
Abba,
Wahagorium,
Baragarium,
Gabal,
Gabal,
Waimawan,
Mamawan,
Waimalak,
Mamalak,
Palashaf,
Palashat,
Amishabia,
Amyashabia,
Tazawar,
Tazapur,
Gum,
Gum,
Ashawar,
Ashawar,
Nalawa,
Manawat,
Imam,
Aman,
Hayawa,
Hayawa,
Zarwai,
Zarawai,
Labunya,
Labunya,
Lawat,
Lawat,
Salah,
Salah,
Asha,
Aisha,
Lahum,
Laham,
Kamadyan,
Kamadyan,
Kasaya,
Kasaya,
Sara'ah,
Sara'ah,
Kayabyan,
Kayabyam,
Banakal,
Anakal,
Kayashwan,
Kayashram,
Nishamadwa,
Neshamawat,
Bayan,
Bayan,
Dara,
Daira,
Hayawa,
Iowa,
Daman,
Daman,
La'a,
La'ah,
Dama,
Dama,
Shaitamwa,
Shaitumwa,
Nada,
Lana,
Yamawa,
Namawat,
Kaira,
Karab,
Wakaza Abba,
Wakaza Abba,
Wakaza Ba,
Wakaza Ba,
Wakaza Zor,
Wakata Zal,
Manai,
Manai,
Ko,
Kal,
Nasayakamwa,
Nasalakwa,
Ashar,
Asal,
Amorwa,
Amarwa,
Nayar, Salakia, Nayar Rasha,
Narasha,
Lanawa,
Nawa,
Ath,
Ath,
Nawa,
Nawat,
Alahayim,
Alahayam,
Alahayim,
Alahaya,
Shaitamwa,
Shaitamwa,
Gogala,
Gogala,
Quash,
Quash,
Lapunya,
Lapanya,
Rakwa,
Rakawat,
Ka'ash,
Ash,
Tabaira,
Ira,
Ya'ira,
Ira,
Wa,
Wa,
Kalahaba,
Kalaba,
Talahat,
Talaat,
Pahorium,
Hahayam,
Khan,
Khan,
Taradatma,
Taradapma,
Basairaka,
Basa Africa,
Obasa,
Obasa,
Wapathka,
Wapavka,
Tabahalam,
Double Halam,
Mala'ah,
Mala'ah,
Panyahum,
Palaham,
Palawan,
Kalawam,
Waya,
Waya,
Bakwashwa,
Bakwashwa,
Shamka,
Shamka,
Yahawa,
Yahawa,
Yabashwa,
Yabashwa,
Waya,
Waya,
Bahawa,
Yabawa,
Ayai,
Ayai,
Waya,
Waya,
Parwa,
Kabwa,
Waya,
Waya,
Badwa,
Abadwa,
Waya,
Waya,
Daiwa,
Daiwa,
Kaya,
Kaya,
Ata,
Ata,
Shamka,
Shamka,
Yahawa,
Yahawa,
Baka,
Babaka,
Aliwan,
Idawam,
Al,
Isle,
Call,
Call,
Harasa.
Haratha. Psalms 83 in the English. Keep not thy silence, O God.
Keep not thy silence, O God.
Hold not thy peace.
And hold not thy peace.
And be not still.
And be not still.
O God.
O God.
For lo,
thine
thine enemies make a tumult.
thine enemies make a tumult.
And they that hate thee
And they that hate thee
have lifted up the head.
have lifted up the head.
They have taken crafty counsel
They have taken crafty counsel
against thy people.
against thy people.
And consulted against thy hidden ones.
Against thy hidden ones.
They have said,
Come,
and let us cut them off
and let us cut them off
from being a nation.
From being a nation.
That the name of Israel
may
be no more remembrance.
May be no more remembrance.
For they have consulted together. With one consent. They are confederate against thee. The tabernacles of Edom. And the Ishmaelites. Of Moab. And the Hagarim. Gabal. And Ammon. And Amalek. The Philistines. With the inhabitants of Tyre. Assur also is joined with them. They have hope in the children of Lot. Salah. Do unto them. As unto the Midianites. As to Sisera. As to Jabin. At the brook of Kison. Which perished at Endor. They became as dung for the earth. Make their nobles like Oreb. And like Zaid. Yea. All their princes as Zabah. And as Armuna. Who said, let us take to ourselves the houses of God in possession. Oh my God. Make them like a wheel. As a stubble before the wind. As the fire burneth a wood. And as the flame set the mountains on fire. So persecute them. With thy tempest. And make them afraid. With thy storm. Fill their faces with shame. That they may seek thy name. O Lord. Let them be confounded. And troubled. Forever. Yea. Let them be put to shame. And perish. That men may know. That thou. Whose name alone. Is Yahweh. Art the most high. Over all the earth.
Oh, man, boy, trying to put my shoulder on. All right, Slacky, man. Just moving on. clap it up for the Most High.
All right. And today we are going to be going over 1 Kings chapter 21. You want to start at verse 1 or
verse 5? Or is it 21 or 5?
Let's start with
When he goes to complain to him? Let's see.
we start with 4.
4?
Yeah, we'll start with 4. So we're going to be going over 1 Kings chapter 21, verse 4. We're going over the first 7 verses in the Hebrew, and then we'll go over it in the English and give the breakdown. So verse 4.
Alrighty. Okay, here it is. All right. The book of 1 Kings, chapter 21 and verse 4 in the Hebrew. Waya ba'a aka aba ala ya ba ya tawa mara. Okay. Why was I ka? No, was I pa? I la ya hada bara ashara yada bara ala yaka naba wata haya zara I alaya why amara ya na lara ta ya bakala ta aba wataya waya shakaba I la ya mata tawa waya saba ata ya wala kala la kama wata ba'a ala ya wa awa ya zabala ashata shatawa wata raba salake wata daba ra ala yaka maha ya zaha wa kana maraha yanara akala la khama Salaki waya raba waya da bara the ra ala ya la ha kaya ya raba ra raba ra. Okay. Allah yana ba wata aya za ra I Allah ya da wa mara la ka tana ya la ya ata ya kara mara baka na or baka ma pa awa ama ya kapatiza ataya ataha ata na ya la karam da ka da ya ka waya mara la aya ta ka. We going to which verse we going to?
You started at verse 4, so 4, 5, 6, 7. So 11.
11?
11 will be the last one.
Okay. All right. La ra ata ya kara sha ya wata amara ala ya ka aya za bala asha da tawa ata ha I the ha the I shaha mala wakaha I la ya yasha ra ala yasha ra ala kawam akala ya la kham waya taba la laba ra Anaya, Ataka, Lara, Yakaram, but not Naba Wata, Haya to Ra'ai Alaya, Wata Kataba, Sapa Rayam, Basham, Aka Abba, Wata Katam, Baka Samaka, Wata Shalaka, Hama Parayam, Sapa Rayam, Alaya, Hazaka Kanayam, Wa'ala Rayam, Ashara, Ba'aya Raka, Haya Shabaram, Ata Ya Naba Wata, Wata Kataba, Basa Parayam, Mara, Kara Waya Tazaram, so like a dumb Wam. Waha Shaya Baka, Ata Ya Na Bawata, Bara Asha, Ha'im, Washa Yabaka, Shana Yam, Abba Shayam, Bana Yabala Ya'ila, but Naga Rawa, Waya I Ra Hawa Mara Dara Kata Alahayam, Washala Lara, Wataza Wasaka Kalahawa, Mata. That's
Good. All right, clap it up. All right, so we're going to be starting at 1 Kings chapter 21, verse 4 in the English. And Ahab came into his house heavy and displeased because of the word which Naboth the Jezreelite had spoke to him, for he had said, I will not give thee the inheritance of my fathers. And he laid him down upon his bed and turned away his face and would not eat bread. But Jezebel, his wife, came to him and said unto him, Why is thy spirit so sad, that thou eatest no bread? Verse 6, and he said unto her, Because I spake unto Naboth the Jezreelite, and said unto him, Give me thy vineyard for money, or else, if it please thee, I will give thee another vineyard for it. And he answered, I will not give thee my vineyard. And Jezebel his wife said unto him, Dost thou not govern the kingdom of Israel? Arise and eat bread, and let thine heart be merry. Now, before we continue, right there, for those of you who don't know about Ahab and Jezebel, you can already see that, okay, Jezebel is Ahab's wife. Why are we going over this specific account in the Bible? Is to show you the manipulation that an evil woman can have over a man. So right here, if you read closely, it says, And Jezebel his wife said unto him, Dost thou not govern the kingdom of Israel? So you can see she's kind of like, correct me if I'm wrong, not to she's kind of like sweet talking, like you the king of Israel. Why? What you mean?
Yeah, I mean,
in a way,
either that or she's like provoking him. Like
it is like it's a form of like manipulation.
Yeah,
like, you're the king of Israel.
Right.
If you want the vineyard, you should get. But you see like the manipulation behind it. But we're gonna get a little deeper into it. I will get thee the vineyard of Naboth the Jezreelite. Verse 8. So she wrote letters in Ahab's name and sealed them with his seal, and sent the letters unto the elders and to the nobles that were in his city.
Now wait right there. Like she did that and took his letters and wrote them. So just showing you the sense of authority she feels over this man.
Right.
You know what I mean? She went about and got an order done and sealed it as the name of the king to get it done. Now, usually, people would probably fear for their lives in a situation like this. Right. But she did it with no problems at all. Like, no concern.
Right. Slag, we'll start. Yeah, verse 8. So she, Jezebel, not Ahab, wrote letters in Ahab's name and sealed them with his seal, and sent the letters unto the elders and to the nobles that were in his city, dwelling with Naboth. And she wrote in the letters, saying, Proclaim a fast and set Naboth on high among the people. So correct me if I'm wrong. This kind of sounds like a bounty in a sense. Right. When it says set Naboth on high among the people, this is just a way of saying like go after Naboth. Yeah, go get him. This is a bounty. Like, yeah, go get him. But yeah, that's a good term. Like she sent it. I mean, damn. Salagi, if I could, like you hear about that today, let's take a second to just kind of touch on that. Like, right. There's a lot of times where I hate to say it, but in today's day and age, and even back then, you'll see brothers who are very weak-minded, just like how Ahab is right here, because he's allowing for his woman to kind of manipulate him in a way. So there's a lot of brothers today that will, to speak on some things like, will lust after a woman so much, right? Now, the brother, and as we all know, like, you're not just supposed to go after a woman just because of the way she looks. Y'all all heard that saying, never trust a big butt and a smile. Right. Not saying that there aren't righteous, beautiful women out there. That's not what I'm saying at all. But brothers need to be
mindful of the kind of women that you choose to deal with, because especially today, you know, as wicked as this world is, it has raised our sisters to be, I mean, like they might be beautiful as hell on the outside, but they are evil on the inside. Now, I also want to touch on something. This is not a class to bash women. I just want to clarify that real quick. This is not a class to speak ill will of sisters or make people feel like Black, Hispanic, and Native Indian women are no good. No. That's not what this class is about. It's to show the difference of, because as we already know, for those of y'all who don't know, the sisters in the I.S.U.P.K under Commander General YAHANNA, they're righteous.
Right.
They're virtuous. Okay. They understand what it truly means to be a righteous woman, a daughter of Israel in the sight of the Lord. So they don't have to worry about things like this. But we speaking more so of the women in the world who have adopted these customs and these ways, or for lack of a better term, the Jezebel spirit, and they decide to go out of their way and manipulate a lot of weak-minded brothers today, which we'll touch on that a little later on during class. But to get on like the hit portion, like, you know, brothers will meet up with a woman, you know, some of them, I'm just going to say it, buying prostitutes, just going to call it what it is. And you meet up with a woman or whatever, and next thing you know, there's a whole bunch of Negroes over there waiting to kill you, and rob you for your money, you know, or maybe you did something that she didn't like, or maybe you didn't pay or whatever. I don't know. You hear about these things, and she set a hit out on you, you know. But Salaki, I just wanted to touch on that real quick. You got anything else?
Yeah, if I may, like, like prostitutes, like this happens in everyday culture. Right. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, this is something that, this is where hood beef start. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Like, they say hypothetically, like this guy is just like a hood member is coming to his hood talking about, oh yeah, I got beef with whoopty whoop whoop, and we all need to have beef with them. They disrespected the hood. Nah, this came from female you was messing with. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? You found out that she was, you know what I mean, messing with the ops. You know what I'm saying? So you decided to start this beef between not just this dude, but his whole entire hood.
Right.
Because usually that's what you get when you're dealing with gangbanging. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. It's I can't handle my situations on my own, so I'm gonna need a whole group of people to help me out. That's what you usually get. I'm not saying that's for everybody, but that's the usual thing. You know what I mean? I don't want to deal with certain situations on my own. So if I got a hood, I can be tough as I want to be and still know that somebody's going to back me up. So when you're gangbanging, you're dealing with other people's issues. But far from that, go back into the subject. Usually, almost every hood beef starts with a woman.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
No,
it starts with a woman, and it ends with brothers getting killed consistently. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? So when we think about what we're reading here, you know what I'm saying, we're thinking about the same thing with Ahab and Jezebel. You know what I'm saying? Ahab couldn't handle his situations on his own. So it took the woman to put out the hit. You know what I mean? It took the woman to go put the hit out on this man. And now this innocent man is going to have to be killed because Ahab just couldn't handle his business on his own. Now, mind you, you know what I'm saying? Ahab is a beta male, but he also was one of the most wicked kings that Israel ever had. You know what I'm saying? So when you have a wicked man, you know what I mean? What is this wicked man going to attract? He's going to attract a wicked woman.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? So if you are a man that is with a woman and you feel like, man, like this woman is just wicked, that's either because you're wicked or the person you used to, like if you in the truth now and you still dealing with that wicked woman, that's because the person that you used to be was wicked. You know what I'm saying? So you have to deal with that person because these are the importances of laying with the woman. Mm-hmm. If you lay and stay, regardless of what the circumstances are.
Slaggy, if I could just go over that like real quick, because what you brought out was so heavy, like wickedness attracts wickedness. We're just gonna, before we continue with this account, I just want to go over Ecclesiastes chapter 26, verse 23, which I'm pretty sure y'all have all heard before, but we still just gonna go over it for those of y'all who don't know. Ecclesiastes chapter 26, verse 23, a wicked woman is given as a portion to a wicked man. Kind of touching on what you was talking about. Right. So you know, we're going to dive in a little deeper, you know, of the wickedness that Ahab was getting into, and why, you know, why it led to him attracting a woman such as Jezebel, right? But a godly woman is given to him that feareth the Lord. I've touched on this a couple times. Like, you know, the kind of women you deal with says a lot about you, Akim. You know, Salakia to the brothers above me, but I just want to point that out for all brothers, regardless of your rank, whatever, whether you a young man, trooper, officer, whatever, captain. You know, the kind of women you deal with says a lot about you. So if you're messing with some evil woman and she manipulative like Jezebel, brother, maybe it's time for you to get your act together. Salakia. But let's continue with this account real quick. So we're gonna go to 1 Kings chapter 21, verse 9. And she wrote in the letter saying, proclaim a fast and set Naboth on high among the people. Verse 10. And set 2 men, sons of Belial, before him to bear witness against him, saying, thou didst blaspheme God and the king, and then carry him out and stone him that he may die. So like kind of what you was touching on earlier, they're about to kill this man.
Right.
But for what though? Because of a evil woman and an evil man in a sense too. But how, if I could touch on something, how is in right here in this specific account right here, how is Ahab being wicked in a sense? If you got any input on that,
well, Ahab was wicked from jump. You know what I mean?
Right.
Ahab was he chose to serve Baal instead of serving the Most High. He was sacrificing. You know what I mean? He was sacrificing. I think his children and everything. Like he was really going deep into, you know what I mean, his serving of Baal. Like so. But also, you know what I mean, he was a beta male.
Right.
He did not know the order and structure of the Most High. And if I can get it to that too, that's in
it was like 1 Corinthians, I think.
Yeah, 1 Corinthians. Let me see. Salakia. 1 Corinthians 11 and 3. And it says, Salakia. The book of 1 Corinthians chapter 11 and verse 3, but I would have you know that the head of every man is Christ, and the head of the woman is the man.
Is who?
Is the man.
Oh, okay.
And the head of Christ is God. So we have an order. You know what I mean? We have an order that we need to abide by. And if the man is not running the house, if the order doesn't start from the man running the house, the man setting the law, then you have a dysfunctional home. You know what I'm saying? In this day, which we're talking about modern day women, this day, modern day women, they not, if they can't run the home, then they want to be equal. You know what I mean? Because, you know, during this time period right now, nobody's really making enough to be able to just thrive on their own. Usually it's the man and the woman putting their input into what the household needs. You know what I'm saying? So because of finances and because our oppressors made us praise and serve money. So because we think of money as our gods, a woman feels like she's entitled to have just as much authority over the home than the man does, because I put in half the bills, or I put in most of the bills. You know what I'm saying? So that it's not based off of the structure of the Most High. It's structured off of who puts in the most amount of money. So now we're not dealing with biblical terms anymore. We're dealing with worldly, evil, wicked terms. So most of the women in our day and age, they want to either run their man or they want to be equal with their man. They cannot accept a position being under the man, not knowing that this position is righteous for them, the man, the children, the Most High, and Christ. You know what I'm saying? This is what the Most High doesn't put out an order unless, you know what I mean, unless there's always something righteous about what he puts out, and there's always something that is evil that if you don't do it, then you're gonna have to deal with that. You know what I'm saying?
You're right.
So if you're dealing with a wicked woman who wants to run the home, then that home is going to deteriorate slowly but surely.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? That because it's going to be that home will now be ran off of emotion. You know what I mean? It will now be ran off of a perspective and not a man's way of thinking. He's going to think not just for himself, but he's going to think for wholeheartedly for everyone that's in the home. You know what I'm saying? These women that you see today, they're doing anything to get to that destination, which leads to carnal things, money, and
Right.
you know what I'm saying? Like it honor and dignity doesn't really matter to them anymore. You know what I mean?
Unless you got a bag, that's all that really matters.
Man,
now.
like,
you just need money.
Like money is everything, and then they don't really see that money is going to destruct you. Like you are on a path to destruction when you are basing your whole lifestyle off of money. Because what are you doing? You're giving your box up. You know what I'm saying? To any man who just, you know what I mean? Women these days, which the subject is modern day women. Women these days are giving up their box to either a man that looks good to them or a man that got some type of validity, some type of income, some type of something. Like he had a nice car or a nice house or something he can show that is just nice. You know what I'm saying? But it's all carnal. A man can't come up to you with the right spirit. You know what I mean? And come with a excellent spirit. Like, hey, like, you know what I mean? Want to treat you with respect, want to treat you like that doesn't matter these days no more. You know what I mean? The women that we deal with today are probably some of the women that they had to deal with in, you know what I mean, in Babylon and in Sodom and Gomorrah. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like these women are literally, it is a new norm to sell your body, to give away your respect, your dignity for the things that are considered how can I say that makes you a thing, that makes you somebody. Oh, a nice purse or a nice vacation that you could take little Instagram pictures at or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Women are literally defiling themselves for these particular things.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? This is why you need an order of a husband, because if I'm your husband, I'm not going to allow you to be out amongst women who don't got their stuff together, women who don't have a virtuous mindset. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to allow you to be in the clubs and in the bars, and I'm not going to allow you to dress a particular type of way that's going to make you look as if you're a whore, and you know what I mean, like right. And stuff like that. Like that's those are the things that men need to be implied at, and we're gonna get into the history of why these things are being used as a weapon for our people.
I'm so glad you said that, Salakia, because we definitely want to touch on that in a little bit. So we'll continue with the account of Jezebel and Ahab, and like you said, we'll get more into the history, because there's a reason why all this is happening. It didn't just spur out of anywhere, but we'll touch on that in a second. So we'll go back to 1 Kings chapter 21. Start with let's see, verse 11. And now remember, Jezebel, she sent the hit out on Naboth right now, because he chose to not give up his vineyard to Ahab, who was a wicked man, by the way. Verse 11, and the men of his city, even the elders and the nobles who were the inhabitants in his city, did as Jezebel had sent unto them, and as it was written in the letters which she had sent unto them. They proclaimed the fast and set Naboth on high among the people. So they did exactly what the letters were saying. And there came in 2 men, children of Belial, and sat before him, and the men of Belial witnessed against him, even against Naboth, in the presence of the people, saying, Naboth did blasphemy God and the king. Then they carried him forth out of the city and stoned him with stones, that he died. Like we were just talking about earlier, like this man died. Okay, let's understand the gravity behind that. This man died not necessarily just because of Ahab, because like you said, like Ahab, he was wicked, but he was also weak. Like he was weak-minded. Right. Okay, he tried to handle something, And because he wasn't man enough to go on about this a certain way, he vented to his woman, and his woman, who is also wicked. This was a woman who also worshiped Baal. Just touch on that real quick, which is already a sin, because I believe it's Exodus 20:3. Thou shalt have no other gods before me. That's the Most High talking right there. Okay. She also worshiped Baal just like Ahab. And so they were just wicked together.
Mm-hmm.
So she took it upon herself, like, okay, you know what? First she got in Ahab's head. You're the king. Like, who's going to defy you? Right. Like, you can see the manipulation behind, like, she's kind of like feeding into his fragile ego. Like, no, you know what? I am the king. Nobody can tell me no. But then she took it upon herself to write these letters in Ahab's name, so that so she lied, so that the citizens would see this and be like, oh, the king of Israel at the time, this man Naboth, he defied him, a blasphemy against the God and the king. So you know what? We got to do something about it. They sent out the hit, so we're gonna do it.
All right.
So they gotta think, they stoned to death.
Man,
it wasn't like he was just off. No, he was. Imagine being stoned, your bones being crushed by hundreds and hundreds. Like, who knows? That's a slow, painful death.
Man.
Okay, he felt that. You got to understand that.
Right.
But he died because of what? Because of two wicked people, a manipulative woman, and a weak man. And you saw the outcome of it. Somebody died. Just like how you touched on earlier. There are so many like beefs between like brothers over a woman. That's all it takes. And it's not just, it's not just in the hood, celebrities too. Right. Wasn't it like not that long ago? I think it was like Lil Boosie and them. There was like at some club or whatever. I don't know all the details, but I do know that it did originate because of a woman.
Right.
That's all it took. That manipulation behind it. Let's go into verse 14. Then they sent to Jezebel, saying, Naboth is stoned and dead. So they told him, like, he's dead. And it came to pass when Jezebel heard that Naboth was stoned and was dead, that Jezebel said to Ahab, arise, take possession of the vineyard of Naboth the Jezreelite, which he refused to give thee for money, for Naboth is not alive, but dead. You see the setup that she made for Ahab right there. Now, Ahab could have, he could have like put a stop to it. He could have checked her right there, but he didn't. He allowed for it to happen because, like you said earlier, he's a beta male in a sense.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And he was a punk too. Like,
he was.
He got checked. And when he said, you ain't take my stuff, like, like he ran and then went to go complain to his wife, like Ahab was our men today who are sitting over here coming out their pockets, just splurging on women just to be able to even touch them. You know what I'm saying? Like you look on the internet and you see so many sayings of like wicked women just like, oh yeah, well, most men got to pay to even talk to me.
Man, like, that's such a prostitute. Like, that's just Salaki for my language. You a hoe. Right. If you think like a man got to pay to even like speak to you, like, oh my goodness! Like, now, okay, let's touch on something real quick.
Oh, and if you paying, then you an Ahab.
Oh,
you know what I'm saying?
Like,
if you paying, you an Ahab.
Like, okay, like let's touch on something real quick. Like, okay, if you taking a sister out to eat or whatever, you like treating her out or whatever, there's nothing wrong with that. Like, I don't want brothers feeling like, oh, I can't take her out because I'm spending money on her.
Right.
I'm bumping into a lot of weirdos, Salakia, a lot of weirdos who try to say, what's the difference between you paying for a prostitute and you paying for a woman to go out to eat? You still putting income in it. Yeah. So what's the difference? I'm here to tell you right now what the difference is. The difference is, first of all, you're paying for a prostitute. You're paying for sex, which is that's a sin. Okay, that woman has been, you don't know how many rods have been in that woman, and you're paying, like, brother, you're desperate.
Yeah.
You are desperate and you're weak and you're weak-minded. I'm here to tell you that right now. Be mad if you want to. I'm going to tell you, you need to cut that mess out.
Right. If
you're treating a sister out on a date, like, you courting the sister, you just spending time, there's nothing wrong with that. Oh, but brothers in the world, they'll try to argue, well, but you but you, I'm trying to like keep this as PG-13 as I can, but they try to say, but you still paying for the box though. And it's like,
this is the thing though.
go ahead.
What are you paying for? Are you going out to dinner because you just want some box? Yeah, then this is pretty much you can calculate it as the same thing.
Yeah, if those are your intentions.
But like I mean, you're not paying as much, but you're still paying to get some box. But why are you paying just to get some box? You know what I'm saying? That's the point. Like, why are you taking this woman out just so you could sleep with her? You know what I mean? Why are you investing into someone only so you could even time? You know what I'm saying? Why are you investing time with someone if the point is just to sleep with them? Like it just shows the desperateness in you. You know what I mean? And how much you just need to get off. You know what I'm saying? How much you like. Don't invest anything. If you're going to invest all this time into a person, you're going to get to know them. You're going to laugh. You're going to giggle. You're going to go out to dinner. You're going to do this and that, and then you're going to sleep with them, and then you're going to forget about them.
Which having sex with a woman and leaving her, you're a whoremonger, which we already covered that before. That's a sin.
Yeah. What was the point?
I just want Sister Atharawana, she said a lying tongue is a false witness. You are absolutely correct, sister. Right. Like that's oh my goodness, like. It's so sad that we have to talk about these things still to this day because it happens all the time. Like brothers out here buying box, you know, they just have no type of self-worth or self-esteem that they feel like they need to go out of their way to do something like that. And then, you know, of course, going more into the topic of the modern day woman, you know, now our women have been taught to gauge a man on his wealth. Now, why is that wrong? Because you might bump into a righteous brother who's really willing to be there for you, love you, take care of you, you know, raise children with you and protect you for the rest of your life. But he might just work a 9 to 5, or he might be struggling to work a 9 to 5. Okay, fine. But you know that's a solid brother right there. Like you don't got to worry about your man's leaving you. Right. You got that kind of that security, not just financially, but emotionally, right? Because a lot of sisters today, I'm gonna say it, are very insecure.
Here we go.
They'll be, hey, let's talk about it. Slot.
Here we go.
They'll be physically beautiful, right? Just beautiful, right? As all of the women in the I.S.U.P.K are in as women, like just Israelite women. Slot. Just Israelite women. Like we already know that there's no other woman on the planet that is more beautiful than our women. Right. We know this, right? But you have these women who are so beautiful, but they are destroyed inside. Like you see it all the time. You go on Facebook, you go on Instagram, you go on Twitter, Snapchat, whatever type of social media you got. TikTok now, you know, TikTok, they always trying to ban somebody off there because there's so many women on there trying to
manipulate that.
Yeah, like manipulate it and like, what's the word I'm looking for? They're promoting themselves sexually. Right. Like Instagram, I mean, that's pretty much like, that's pretty easy right there. Like you see sisters on there who, you know, taking all these photos, you know, with butt out, you know, with fake breasts, right. You know, or was it the gym fanatics? Right. You know, right. Like, okay, we get it, sis. You work out. That's great. You don't need to show your hindquarters for every man out there to see. But why do they do that? Though? Right. It's the insecurity, right? And it's in a sense a form of manipulation because brothers today, I know we're talking about the modern day woman, but we're going to talk about the modern day man too, brothers who have been taught ever since we were kids. Like we've all heard it before. Like I remember being, I hate to say it, but in middle school, not even in high school, and we're 11, 12 years old and we're being taught as boys, you got to get the box. Right. You got to get it. You're not a man unless you have sex with a woman. But here's the part that they leave out though. You know, when you lay with that woman, you stay with that woman. That's in the Bible, right? But they teach you got to be a whoremonger. You're not a man. Like the more women you have sex with, the prettier she is. It don't matter if, you know, she's wicked and evil or whatnot. It doesn't matter about that. The point is you have sex with her. So they train you to believe you won. You done had, but before you even graduate high school, you done had sex with like 30 different women already, right? And you take pride in that. Why is that such a bad thing for brothers today? Because you grow up with that mentality of, well, she bad, so I'm gonna just hit it and quit it. I don't care, if she, evil and she tries to manipulate me, or if I get her pregnant, she puts me on child support, which I'm gonna touch on that real quick. I have bumped into brothers who have literally, before they even have sex with the woman, she will admit to being the type of woman to put him on child support. And I'm looking at him like, there's your out right there. Like, don't do it. But she bad though. I need to have sex with her. That's a weak mindset.
Right.
Okay. And why does this happen today? Let's talk about it.
So like if I may too, like this is just those are the programming too that make us feel like, okay, beauty is everything. A woman who looks good is everything. And if a woman doesn't look good, she better be a whore. Otherwise she can't, she will never find a man. You know what I'm saying? These are all different things to hit a woman's mental state. Okay. You know what I'm saying? But I don't know if he was planning on getting that a little bit.
No, it wasn't that Slack. I don't want to cut you off.
The question on there.
Somebody had a question. Salakia, sir, if I may, I have a question. Is it okay for a brother to lie to a new woman about not having a current? Wait.
No.
Is it okay for a brother to lie to a woman?
No.
About not having a current woman to get the new woman? No, absolutely not. And we're going to tell you why. Okay. So if I'm reading this correctly, is it okay for a brother to lie about getting a new rib? Oh, to the old rib before the. Okay, I got you, brother. Okay, so no, that's not okay, and we're gonna tell you why. And I just want to, I'm gonna be as direct as I can with you, brother. And this is to help you out. That's a weak mindset because here's the thing: the Lord said that a man could have multiple wives. Okay, you could read about, for example, Jacob, whose name was later changed to what? Israel. He had 4 wives. I know we talk about Rachel and Leah a lot, but he also had Zilpah and Salakia. At the moment, I forgot the name of the other handmaid. It was Zilpah and Salakia. I'll probably get that for you if I could. But my point being is the brother had 4 wives. Did he lie to Rachel? Did he lie to Leah? Did he lie to Zilpah? No. That is a brother's God-given right to have multiple wives if he so chooses to. So let's say you got a rib, right? And you're afraid of losing your rib because you feel like, okay, if I tell her that I'm interested in a new woman, she might leave me. I'm gonna tell you right now, if your woman leaves you because you did, and this is about to sound so crazy to some people, but I'm gonna say it. If your woman leaves you because you decided to exercise your God-given right to have multiple women, multiple wives. Let me clarify that. Not just women. I don't want brothers thinking that you can just go out and just sleep with a whole bunch of hoes. That's not what I'm saying. Multiple wives, as in you're keeping those women. Those are your wives now, okay? And she leaves you. I'm here to tell you right now, that was never your woman to begin with, because she broke the law. She chose to go with her carnal desire of, well, no, because that's another thing that our women are taught today. Your Christian pastor lied to you. They teach you it can only be one man, one woman. That's it. You can't share your man. And of course, sisters today, they want to hear that. Oh, he's all to myself. He's not going to be shared with anybody else. But the Most High said that you can have multiple wives. But now when she hears that, as a lot of, I'm going to say it, a lot of sisters today, when they hear that, it's like, no. Then the control comes in. Okay, then it turns into going through your phone. Slack, I got a scripture for you. Let's go to matter of fact, let's go to Ecclesiastes. Where is it? Chapter 25. Oh, I got it right here. Ecclesiastes chapter 25, verse 22. A woman, if she maintain her husband, is full of anger, impudence, and much reproach. Now, what does that mean to maintain your husband? That doesn't mean like taking care of your husband. Sis, take care of your husband. Ain't nothing wrong with that. The maintain is the control, the going through his phone, the why are you late coming home tonight? What other B word you talking to? Feel me? Like that's where the control, the maintain. She's driving herself crazy because she's trying to see who else you talking to. That's a demon right there. Sisters in the truth, they don't gotta worry about that. they're not even gonna go through their man's phone.
Right.
They don't care. Because guess what? At the end of the day, that's still your husband. And he ain't going nowhere. So why even bother to try to drive him away? But to get more into the topic of the lying portion of, do you feel like you need to lie to your woman? Don't lie to your woman. If anything, no, please don't lie to your woman, because that happens to our sisters today. We kind of covered this like not that long ago about sisters who, sisters in the world, they'll have a man, and let's keep it real, brothers usually are dealing with multiple women.
Right.
It's just a fact. Never in the history of ever have Black, Hispanic, and Native Indian men ever just dealt with one woman. Not saying you can't just have one woman. If there's some brothers who just want one wife, that's fine. You don't have to have multiple wives if you don't want to. But if you so choose to, why lie about it?
Right.
Because if you lie, you're lying because you're afraid.
Right.
You're afraid of losing her. And I mean, just a question for the sisters that are tuning in, you can feel free to answer if you want to. Would you want your man to lie to you? Just being real. Now, that question is more for the sisters in the truth. Sisters in the world, they want to be lied to, because in their mind, they're living in this illusion of, okay, well, it's just my man. When they know deep down, he probably got other women on the low,
Right.
but he's not telling her. And as long as she don't know, hey, no harm, no foul. But the thing is, the truth always comes out. What's in the dark must come to light. Okay, so she gonna find out, and then she gonna be mad because you lied to her all this time, and now, I mean, she gonna make you eat your own words. I remember, Salaki, if I could, I just want to touch on something that Priest and Officer of 1,000, Thabawan, said to us when we first came into the truth. Your woman is like your personal lawyer. She knows, believe it or not, she knows everything about you.
All right.
A woman will pay attention to everything that her husband does, okay? Both the good and the bad. So if you're showing her evil, which is to lie, sister said, no, I want the truth, although taking on another woman is not. There you go. Because the thing is, if you know, then you ain't got nothing to worry about. You're fine. Sisters in the truth understand this. Sisters in the world don't. And that's another form of manipulation. And I hope that answers your question.
And if I may get into that too.
Go ahead.
Because it's a sin to lie.
Right.
You should never lie to anyone, even your own woman, because it not only is it a sin, but it will also make her lose respect for you. You don't want her losing respect for you, but also in simple fact, you don't really even need to say anything. What kind of question is that, and kind of question is that for you to answer to? You know what I'm saying? If this is a woman in the world and she's just, she's just curious about what your situation of what you plan on doing is, your answer should always be, yes, I'm planning on getting another woman, even if you don't. For real. Even if you don't, because you want to see her character. You want to see where she's going to fall in line at. Does she just want this situation? It's not wrong for her to just want to be the only wife. It's not wrong for that, but it's just a fact of where her intentions are at. Because some things might still be triggered from when they were back in the world. You know what I'm saying? And if they can't deal with those insecurities and those emotions, that means that they're still battling that mental disorder that they have. You know what I'm saying? Or that was programmed into them. You know what I'm saying? Because having one wife is not our culture. Having one wife is not our culture. We can have multiple wives. Not saying that we have to, but all in all, that shouldn't even be a discussion. It shouldn't even be brought up. So yeah, lying is wrong, but having to tell them, you don't have to say anything. It's not like you got to come straight forward like, hey, like I got another wife, and I'm just letting you know. Like, no, you ain't. You could if you want to, but you don't have to. Yeah.
If I could touch on that real quick, I think it would be wise to let her know. Like now, kind of like what you said, you don't have to. When sister said when it does come out, then you're hurt and you're angry and you no longer have trust in the marriage. Absolutely. You wouldn't want your husband lying to you. Just being honest about it, right? Just be honest.
Right.
Be honest. But
Damn, I had some, but
Slacky, there was something else I wanted to touch on before.
where we at with Ahab?
So Ahab, let's
Oh yeah,
continue.
so they pretty much they killed him.
Yeah,
off.
they killed him. So
She went to go tell Ahab to go take
Right.
one. So I mean, I think that's the end of that situation. But if you want to keep going,
let's see. There was like a few more things I wanted to touch on because we're gonna get into that. That was a great question, by the way. The water for that. There was something else I wanted to touch on, like where this stems from. But I wanted to go. There was one more thing I wanted to go over.
So Ahab is showing characteristics of our modern day beta man,
Right.
and Jezebel is showing characteristics of our modern day women.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? He's not in control. He's under her authority at this moment, and she is pretty much running the show. Not only like Jezebel was a heathen, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, she was.
So this is heathen, like this is a heathen's mentality. You know what I'm saying? She's so wicked because, you know what I mean, she doesn't know anything about being righteous. She just knows that she's supposed to be in control. You know what I'm saying? She has to control the man. This is probably the way that she was brought up. She has to control the man in order to control the kingdom. You know what I mean? So who knows what's going on in her mind, but we're just giving the we're giving the difference between, okay, actually we're just giving the comparison of what's going on today and what was going on back then.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? This time period, it's a wave of women who want to run the house. That's why the population of single women is at an all-time high at this moment. It's at an all-time high. There's nobody being raised with morals. Like you got the women who were 15 having kids at that age. You know what I'm saying? Those kids are about 15 now. You know what I'm saying? Those kids are about 20 now. Like these kids were raised under the women who didn't have structure. Not saying that being 15 doesn't give you structure, but the women who are under this modern day mindset that, you know what I mean, sex is what makes a man love me, and I can only get attention by showing my body, and all these things. These are rounded up to put destruction into the woman's brain. You know what I'm saying? To get her mindset off of the man and off of being virtuous. You know what I mean? Women don't know that their superpower comes within their submission. You know what I mean?
Oh, I'm so glad you just said that.
Right.
That's
Your superpower.
Yeah,
that's how you show. That's how you show a man that you love him. You know what I mean? That's how you still. If you're just a woman that just like, you know what I mean? Hey, babe, can you go give me this and that? Hell no. You're just like, okay, well, she must not really care about me like that. You know what I'm saying?
For real. No.
Not saying that it just takes order for her to show some type of compassion, but a woman's superpower is in her submission. If she's showing you that she's willing to submit to you, that is proving that her emotions is 100% for you. You know what I'm saying? If she can't submit to you, then she's not 100% really for you. She's 1 foot in, 1 foot out. Another man can swoop her off her feet at any time period because she's not showing any type of efforts to you. When she takes away the submission, she takes away the efforts. When she takes away the attention and you know what I mean, hey babe, how are you? How are you doing? Like, are you fine? Oh, can I get you this? Can I get you that? When that's taken away out the relationship, she has proven to you that she really doesn't care about you like that. She can say I love you all she wants to. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, if she is not proving it within her superpower, which is submission, you know what I'm saying? Then you won't ever know that your woman is really for you or not. And at this time period right now, women are literally being that this whole mindset of the Cardi B's and the Megans and the city girls and all that.
Sweetie,
that's
and all them,
all me. He does for me. I don't do nothing. He submits to me. I'm the one with the box. I have what he wants. So he's going to submit to me. And and this box is going to get me fortune, fame, and whatever. This is the mindset that they're placing you at. You know what I'm saying? Not knowing that all things must go away. You know what I'm saying?
Man,
all things must go away, but we get into it.
What you said Nah, my fault. Go ahead.
No, no, you can go ahead. But okay, well, let me conclude because
Go ahead.
just because of the time, let me just. All things must go away because your beauty is not going to last. Your beauty does not last. So if you spent most of your life being a wicked, horrible woman who just wanted to control because she has a curve or she has a nice face or nice teeth, those things will wither away. And the way that life is going right now, those things wither away very, very quickly. You know what I'm saying? Those wrinkles come through at least starting with your 30s.
Damn.
You know what I'm saying? So you got this time period, you got this 15-year time period to try to get as much money as you possibly can that can secure you for the rest of the, 70 years of your life. No, it don't work out like that. Once that beauty withers away, you're going to flow through all that money that you degraded yourself to get, and then you're going to be alone. You're going to be miserable. Your children will hate you. You know what I'm saying? And you're going to be broke. You're going to be on the streets. And you're going to be probably sitting in the front of some church somewhere with a big ass hat trying to praising the Lord as much as you can to get a damn husband, which he already gave you. You know what I mean? He already gave you that structure that you should already had to get that husband back 40 years ago. You know what I'm saying? 40 years before that, you already had what you needed to get the husband of your dreams. You decided to be a whore. You decided to be a prostitute. So you decided I'm going to follow the norm because these women look like they're having fun. They're able to go on vacations. They're going on trips. They're going to Hawaii and to Africa and all these different exotic places. And these men are paying for it for free, and they're putting money in their bank accounts. And men are just putting nothing is free. They are degrading themselves for those wrinkly old white men, and they are doing the most horrifying things with their bodies just to get those things. Just to get those things. And this is what they're showing you. Okay, when you go through all these IG models and all that stuff like that, they're showing you all the trips. They're showing you the fake butt and the fake breast, and they're showing you all these different clothes and all this nice things, but they're not telling you they're not showing you what happens when the door has to close and the lights turn off. They're not putting that on blast.
Nope, that's
you know what I'm saying? And the ones that do show it, you know what I mean, they're not trying to make a profit off of that too, off of OnlyFans. You know what I'm saying?
Man.
They're showing they're not showing you the whore part. They're thinking that, oh yeah, I'm beautiful. Just like, look at me. Because I'm beautiful, I got this, I got that, I got this, I got that. No, it don't work like that. Yeah. You giving up some box, most definitely.
Yeah.
You giving up some box somewhere. Somewhere in your life, you giving up some box. Even a woman, she came out and just like, it's cool for me to have a man, and it's cool for me to keep the man that's providing all of that.
Salakia, if I could. Let's see, Salakia, a sister just at my slave, said that a woman also needs to be treated well. You're absolutely correct. A woman is supposed to be treated well. That's actually, that's in the scriptures too. Love your wives. It's in Ephesians chapter 5, verse 25. Husbands, love your wives, even as Christ also loved the church. And Christ loved the church.
Right.
Believe that. And gave himself for it. Now, you're absolutely correct. Yes, a man is supposed to take care of his wife. How does a man take care of his wife, though? How does he take care of his daughters? By having authority in his household, by protecting them. But how do you protect the women in your household? I'm not just talking about physically. Like, if somebody breaks into your house, sis, like, I'm pretty sure you would want your husband to, handle business. Because, you don't want anything happening to you and whatnot. And your husband, if he really loves you, he wouldn't want anything to happen to you either. But it gets deeper than that. Follow me on this. In today's society, if you really love your woman, you got to protect your woman from herself.
Right.
Hear me out on this.
Right.
Because sin is everywhere. Okay. And I'm going to say it. I think Satan got like a special place in his heart for sisters,
right?
Because the way he comes after y'all, it's like y'all sisters get glorified for sin. in a different way. Like brothers do too, but it seems like with sisters, it's like you get glorified for being wicked.
It's like, if I may on that too.
Go ahead.
Because just to answer that question, when you destroy the woman, you destroy a generation. You know what I'm saying?
What?
If the woman's destroyed, then the generation's destroyed. Who you think that the son is coming up to, who his teacher is when he's walking and he's talking and he sees, and he's going to see his mother. He's going to grow to love his mother. He's going to adapt to his mother.
Right.
So that's why the order should lay in why if the woman is following the man, then the son is following the father. The father is because he's following the mother. If he's following the mother, he's following the father because the mother is laying down every law that the father lays. So if the woman is destroyed, you're skipping a portion of, and that's going to leave room for dysfunction. Because if the woman's destroyed but the man is righteous, the kid is trying to choose which one should I take after.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Or should I take after this wicked woman or even the woman? Like, can I take after this wicked woman or should I take after this righteous man? They don't know the difference. They're going to start adjusting to maybe women are just supposed to be wicked. Mm-hmm. So I'm just going to go find me a wicked woman when I get older. You know what I'm saying? You destroy the woman, you destroy a generation. If the woman's destroyed, the whole generation. And then not just that, as much as they're trying to take the man out the household, you know what I'm saying? We're destroying generations of people. So the man is being either taken out the house by jail, by death, you know what I mean, or he's being forced out the house by that wicked woman. So all that child only has to look up to is the wicked woman.
And if I could real quick, because what you brought out was so heavy,
right?
Like, let's talk about where this stems from, though. Why is it today that we have so many masculine-minded women? Well, I'll tell you why. Kind of what you touched on something real quick. It was talking about Jezebel. You know, she was a heathen, right?
Right.
Now, that's a heathen custom to want to dominate your man.
Oh, that's a sin.
Hold up now. Don't hearken onto the way of the heathen, right?
Right.
Who is the heathen that oppresses us so much? I just gave it away. The oppressor himself, the so-called white man, Esau. Let's talk about slavery, all right? And why it continues to destroy our society today. You got to remember, during slavery, like, we were still getting married. Like, don't get it twisted. Like, we still loved our women still loved us. You know, we were still trying to, stick it out. And at that time, like, I mean, oh my goodness, I just want to touch on something. Sisters were so righteous. Like, right. You got to think, like, during this time period, like, we getting killed, we getting lynched, drowned, burned, tarred, and feathered, kids being taken away from us. It's just like, so it's like so much you could bear, but sisters were still sticking by their man. Man, like, that's just like, wow. Right. But here's the problem. So we were still revolting in a sense. Like, you could, like, the easiest way to have a slave is to have a happy slave. You don't just attack the body, you have to attack the mind. Right. Because a strong body is nothing without a strong mind. So brothers were still trying to fight back. Sisters were still trying to find ways to support their man to fight back. So what did they do? Again, going back to the Willie Lynch letters, again, a small book, but very informative. It showed how to deconstruct us in our minds. What was a way to do that? There were many different ways to do that. Turn the young against the old. It still happens today. Salakia, not to get too off topic, but turn the light skin versus the dark skin. You still see that today. Like inner racism against our own nation. You see brothers who don't want to rock with a light-skinned brother because you're like, oh yeah, now you kind of white. We don't like you. Meanwhile, both of his parents are both Israel, or maybe his father's Israel, but his mother might be an Edomite. That's still Israel, though. We went over that last class. You are who your father is, but brothers don't want to rock with that, or sisters don't, whatever. Even our Hispanic brothers and sisters today, oh yeah, you too dark. I've heard it pissed me off when I heard this growing up. I bumped into some Hispanic brothers who didn't want to rock with another Hispanic brother because he was too dark. There was one time I heard somebody call him a dirty Mexican because he was too dark. And I'm like, what in the hell? Not to get too off topic, but these are just ways that they deconstructed us. This is what the oppressor has taught our people. Another one they did was to deconstruct the man and put our women in the forefront. How did they do this, though? Well, you can look it up throughout history. We still wanted to defend our women. I've said this a couple of times. Y'all heard the term breaking the buck when they when they got a brother and they, for lack of a better term, sexually assaulted that brother in front of his wife, his mother, his children, all that. Now, they could have took him to the back and did that, but they specifically did it in front of them because they wanted to send a message. It was fear. Now, depending on who's in that family, they're going to take it certain ways. We're going to focus more on the wife, though. The wife saw this. Now, why did the oppressor do this? It was to show our women that your man can't protect you,
right?
Because he can't even protect himself.
Right.
I'm going to have my way with or without him defending you. So this caused our women to be in a panic. Like, what am I going to do? Like, I still have to protect my children, but they just took my man away from me. So now it forced sisters to be in this mindset of, okay, well, since, you know, my man can't really protect me the way that I need, I got to protect my family. But hold on now. Here's the thing. Sisters compromise. You know, they talked to the oppressor. They tried to figure out ways to mend their family. And this is specifically what they would do to the son and the daughter. They would raise up the son to be physically strong, but mentally weak. Why, though? In their mind, to protect them. Because if he's submissive to the so-called white man, he might not kill him, right? He'll be physically strong. You know, he can still work in the fields and in the house and stuff, but he won't try to go against him. So the oppressor will leave him alone. And that's all sisters wanted. I mean, can you blame them? They just wanted their children to live. So they had to raise sons to be submissive. And they raised their daughters to be the same way as them. So the roles switched. Now you have the women who are being in a mindset masculine and the men who are being submissive and feminine.
Right.
Now, this kept building up, though. It didn't just stop there. In a sense, like, sisters were kind of forced to do something. I mean, it's so sad. Like, but in their mind at the time, like, they were trying to still be righteous, though. They're trying to save their family.
Right.
But the oppressor, you know, it was all a system.
If I could get into that one too.
Go ahead.
Because I see exactly where you're going with it too. Because even after slavery, women still knew that their job was to be under their man and to work to build that family. You know what I'm saying? Work to build the family. It was still a family-oriented thing. Right. But once we got into that crack era, you know what I mean? That's when his plan just, boom, revealed itself. We want that man out of that house. And we need him out of there immediately. Why? Because if we can get him out that house, we can get these women alone and vulnerable. Easy to attack. It's like how predators hunt. You know what I'm saying? They're like when they're hunting, they don't go after the big old masculine deer. They're going to try to separate that deer from this young, and they get the young or the old, or you know what I mean, or the weaker. They get the weaker vessel. You know what I'm saying? Which women are the weaker vessel to the man. You know what I'm saying? But they want you alone so they can manipulate you. They want you alone so they can deal with you and your mental state, which is all being programmed as we speak today. What happened during the crack era? They start arresting the man for petty crimes, giving them life sentences, petty crimes, and you know what I mean? They were killing us, beating us. They were trying to kill the man at a massive rate while also trying to just give the woman a helping hand, give her something, give her like food stamps or sort of some type of.
It was Slag. I think it was
welfare.
Welfare. Slag. Just because what you brought out. Yeah, it's kind of like what I was getting to. Like,
okay, go on.
Like, so like it was at one point, like the like sisters back in the day, like what would happen was, like you said before, they would get rid of brothers at a mass rate by, like you said, like killing them, stuff like that.
Right.
But they also made them unemployed.
Right.
So
right.
now, again, taking that sense of security, because brothers, like we're trying to look out for our family. We want to, in a sense, like a man, we want to provide for our family. Now, that's not necessarily always meaning financially, but in a sense, I mean, you got to do it financially nowadays, you know.
Right.
So, but they took that away from us also. So again, it puts our women in this uncomfortable situation. Like damn, like I love my man, but he can't do this now because of the oppressor. So what did that do? They had to step into the forefront. They got to be the breadwinner. They got to be the ones to financially stabilize the household. And it got to a point where they had the only way that they could collect welfare checks is if they did not have a man in the household. You got to remember, they would go into the house to make sure that there's not a man there. Some sisters, you know, they were smart. So what they would do is the man would hide, or, you know, something like that. He's still there, but you could see the deconstruction. It's like it trained women to believe like your man can't help you, but I can. This is Esau talking right now. And you still see it today in the court system. What happens usually when brothers and sisters get a divorce? The children usually 9 times out of 10 goes with the mother.
Right.
Okay. And who's the one that has to pay child support? It's the man.
Right.
Now, okay, I know that, yes, there are some deadbeat fathers out there.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not defending them. I'm defending the brothers that still to this day that I know of personally, who are fighting to be there for their children. But because Esau has had a hand in the way our women think for so many generations, it's to the point now, like how you said earlier, like, what's the best way to destroy a man? Easy. Attack his woman.
Right.
Or if anything, no, I got something better. Don't just attack his woman. Turn his woman against him. Because when now there's that division, because like as a man, you know, when you go to your rib, like I want to emphasize the special place that a woman has in her husband's heart. Like you are in a special place in that man's life. Not just like you know, we have brothers, you know, we have, you know, our family and stuff like that, but you, sister, you hold a special place in that man's life.
Right.
He's gonna tell you things that he might not even tell his own parents. Like he confides to you, he trusts you on a level that he might. I'm gonna keep it real with you. He gonna tell you things that he might not even tell his friends.
Which he shouldn't.
No, for real.
Yeah, he shouldn't.
You know, that it's just certain things, but that's how Esau uses our women today to manipulate them and turn them. Like the one thing that we cherish so much, he's gonna turn that against us, and he's done it so perfectly.
Right.
Because like how you brought up earlier, in today's age, sisters, like you get glorified for sinning. Your OnlyFans. I mean, before it was OnlyFans, I mean, you know, prostitution. I think it was what was it called? I think it was called like premium Snapchat.
Yeah. Back
So,
page and all that stuff.
Back page, all that stuff. Like it was glorified for a woman who was physically beautiful, but in her spirit, she was just so evil and wicked. But it was glorified. So when it's glorified to be wicked, it makes you feel like, oh, well, this is the right thing to do. Like you see sisters like on the red carpet. I'm trying to think, what's her name? Sweetie. Like I don't really keep up with that type of stuff, but I like happen to see it, like, you know, people post it on Facebook and stuff. And I see what this sister's wearing, and I'm just like, you might as well just went naked, honestly, because like you wasn't even covering up anything. Right. And this is the same woman, not just to use her as an example. This is the same sister who, I'm sorry, who at one point, because I think she was with Quavo,
right,
and she was on some talk show. I don't know what it was, but I remember seeing it, and she glorified having sex with multiple men at the same time, along with her men. And her face was like she was serious, and she saw nothing wrong with what she was doing. But why though? Because she was taught to be like that. Esau, like in this nation, today they teach our women to be like that.
She had that Jezebel spirit.
Exactly. She had that Jezebel
at
spirit.
first they were just talking about having someone come in the bedroom with them as a couple, but she made it as, okay, so what's the man's name gonna be? Because more so it was like, okay, she felt like, okay, he was putting it into terms like, oh, like another woman coming in, but she's just like, because she has that masculine spirit, that Jezebel spirit, she's like, okay, what's the man's name gonna be? So that's the whole thing too. Like, you know what I'm saying? That mentality, like they're using their insecurities too as a weapon.
No,
you know what I'm saying?
No, for real.
If we knew our culture was not even worrying about multiple wives, a lot of women would still have their husbands right now. You know what I'm saying? A lot of women would still have their husbands right now to this day, and they would still be happy as they were before they found out about the other woman. They would, you know what I mean? If they knew that was our culture, but because we've been following the ways of the heathen, and multiple wives is not allowed in this society, and women have programmed in their brains a feeling, an insecurity. So if a man is to be with another woman, then she would take it as I can't be with him. I can't be with him because he cheated on me. He did me dirty. Whoop-de-whoop. Here's the thing. It wasn't like that until like this time period.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like I seen a clip with this older woman. This older woman was standing at a gravesite with her two granddaughters, and she was just talking about, you know what I mean, their grandfather. Like, you know what I mean? I loved the hell out of Billy. Billy, I loved him. You know what I mean? Even though he loved Gloria more than he loved me, I still love him, and I still love the hell out of him, and I still love him to this day. You know what I mean? Like, she was acknowledging the fact that, you know what I mean? They was like, he loved his family. Like, he loved his family. He probably wouldn't be home on Friday nights, but he loved his family. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, even with that mindset, it shows you that, you know what I mean, our woman could never in this time period. Our woman could never sit there and thug it out with a man if she was to find out that he had another woman. They would never thug it out because they have been programmed to feel like I'm good enough to be the only one. I'm supposed to be the only one. He's supposed to only love me, and I'm supposed to control the relationship to the point where he better be afraid to go anywhere else. I got your kids on the line. I got your house. I got your money on the line. The oppressor has given her every resource to control a man. Now, all she just has to do is act on it. All she has to do is act on it because every resource has been given to her. When you marry a woman, half your money is hers. You know what I mean? If not half, most of it. Because I think that one actor from is paying. He gets paid from his wife. He gives her everything, and she gives him like $5,000 a month. But he's getting millions from Hustle and Flow. The man. What's going on, man?
Wow, I'm so mad. Y'all gonna give me.
Yeah,
I can't remember his name.
I can't remember.
Terrence Howard.
Terrence Howard. His first wife, she pays him $5,000 a month, but he's getting millions. He had Empire. He had a whole bunch, but she gets the millions, and she only gives him $5,000 a month. That's how his marriage went with her. So even like the oppressor has given the woman all the power from the kids, from the house to the cars to all his resources because he wants her to control the home.
It's so bad. If I could touch on something too, I think it was Dr. Dre. Dr. Dre, I think his net worth is about like 800 million. He's almost a billionaire. But when he was getting a divorce with his woman, so like you said earlier, like she's automatically gonna get half, just to show that right there. So she's already getting approximately about $400 million. But then, just to show again the control, so their kids, they're older, like they're not kids anymore, they're all adults. So she wasn't gonna get any child support. So you know what she wanted? What did she call it? She called it spouse support.
Right.
So she wanted him to still give her money, even though they would be divorced, and she's already getting the 400 mil from him. What you need all that for? You might as well just stay with the man at that point, but it's the control. It's the control behind it. And why are we going over this? This class is more dedicated to the women because I don't want to say we, the Most High wants you to understand, yes, there is a structure to this, like Slakia, like how you went over in 1 Corinthians. It goes the Most High, Christ, man, then woman. It's designed that way for a reason, because it provides structure, and when you follow that structure, just like how you gotta listen to your man, hey, we gotta listen to Christ,
Right.
We gotta listen to the Most High. Don't think it's just you, sis.
Right.
Okay. I know some sisters out there. They'll be. I see this pop up a lot. You know, the idea of, well, why do men get to have multiple women? It's not fair. It seems like men get to have this, that, and the third. Sis, I'm here to tell you, look, we gotta follow laws too. The law's a little different for men and women, but we still have a law. Like, we still got to follow the dietary law.
Right.
Like, I bump into brothers today, just being real. When I tell them that if you lay with that woman, you got to stay with that woman, they get angry because they're like, well, what if I don't like her? What if she puts on weight when we get older? I like my women to be fit all the time. Now she done put on a couple pounds. I don't like it anymore. I want to get rid of her. Well, God told you no.
Which is stupid.
It is dumb. And like, but there are, I'm gonna keep it real with you. There's a lot of brothers like that in the world today. Oh, well, I don't want to be with her. I just want to hit it and quit it. Well, guess what? The Lord told you no. They don't want to hear that. There's a lot of brothers, again, that weak mentality, because I'm gonna keep it real with you. If you don't want to take responsibility for your woman, brother, I'm sorry to tell you this, you have been raised to have a weak mentality. Because if you lay with that woman, you stay with that woman. You're supposed to take responsibility for that woman. Okay, I believe it. What was it? The one I read earlier was Ecclesiasticus. A wicked woman is given as a portion unto a wicked man,
right.
But a God-fearing woman is given as portion to, I'm paraphrasing, to a righteous man. So if you're having sex with that woman, you're supposed to take responsibility for her. Okay. Right. You're not supposed to, this era of just sleeping with one another and hitting it and quitting it, what was the hookup generation?
Right.
That's got to stop. Okay.
That's wicked.
That's wicked, because brothers get real defensive when it comes to their daughter. They don't want their daughter just sleeping with any man and stuff. But what are you doing? That's a weak mindset, because you don't want to take on the responsibility. Well, I don't know. She got this going on, this, that, and the third. Okay, well, guess what? If you so choose that you don't want to deal with that, fine. Don't sleep with her. Don't do it.
Right.
But brothers today, they don't know the law. So when we tell brothers in the world, some come into class, obviously, but there are a lot of others that don't want to hear that. So just like how, you got to follow some certain laws, I'm going to keep it real with you, that you might not want to hear, sis, it goes the same for brothers, okay? But it don't matter because it's the law. These are the law, statutes, and commandments that our forefathers have made a covenant with Isaac, Abraham, and Jacob, with the Most High, and we are to follow it to a T. That's that, okay? Because you see what happens when we don't. Kind of touching on what you went on earlier about like sisters who try to like maintain or control their husband, because, okay, let's touch on Saweetie real quick. Quavo left her. That's, it might not seem that big of a deal to y'all, because I don't know the sister personally, but I'm pretty sure she felt some type.
Oh yeah, that masculine spirit came up out of her. She was trying to fight him and put hands on him, like, you know what I'm saying, like that women have that, and then not to mention on that too, that masculine spirit makes you want to put hands on men, like they can't just rip your whole head off at one blow, like, you know what I'm saying, like they make you feel, oh, I'm gonna beat your, when I see you, I'm gonna beat your, like, don't do it, sis, don't do it, sis, because if you're gonna catch the right one at the right time, and he's going to uppercut a new structured head on your shoulders. You know what I'm saying?
No, for real though.
No, for real though.
It shouldn't come to that. It shouldn't come to that.
That one, the one celebrity. I can't call her a celebrity, but she was she's Moneybagg Yayo's girl. Ari. She promotes that violent masculine mentality. She says that when she was vulnerable and when she was submissive, she didn't get her way. She didn't get it her way. So her not caring and being more masculine and being more aggressive, that's when she felt like she was getting her way. You know what I'm saying? But it's just like that's the mentality they want you in. Exactly. That's what mentality they want you in, because they want you to be single, because it's going to happen. You may be young, beautiful. Every man's just in your inbox. Every man's just trying to hit you up like, hey, what's going on, shawty? Like, all the thirsty dudes, the beta males, they all in your inbox trying to see what's up with you. But those looks are eventually going to fade, and that inbox is going to be just as dry as whatever's going on between your legs. You know what I'm saying? It's going to be just as dry.
Salakia, what you said is so true. And then just to touch on something before we close the class, you got to think of like the what's the word I'm looking for? The emotional stress that a woman goes through to get those likes. Because you got to think like them sisters who are constantly craving that attention, those likes. Because I'm gonna keep it real with you. There are sisters today who live off of that. Like they need it. They are so driven by that idea of I need to have, like you said, we call it simps now. I'm pretty sure there'll be a new term in like 2 years. But that mentality of I need to have attention from all these different men in my inbox, in my DMs, in my likes. Like you got to think like she has to constantly work for that. And it's like, doesn't it get exhausting at some point? Wouldn't you just rather have just one man in your life who's going to be there for you forever? Forever. You don't got to worry about that. You don't got to stress yourself out. Because when you do these things, sis, like the oppressor is going to make dirt look like gold in a sense. Okay? He's going to make this toxic masculinity for women look so appealing because you see your celebrities. Yeah, we just talked about Sweetie, Nicki Minaj, Meg Thee Stallion, Cardi B. They glorify that stuff. And it seems so cool because, I mean, they're rich, right? They're rich. They got the nice clothes, the cars, the money. They get to go travel out to, all these different countries. And it seems so inviting. What you don't see, like how Priest and Officer Natazak brought up earlier, you don't see what happens behind the scenes. And a lot of their relationships don't last.
Right.
And eventually, sis, you're going to get old. It's going to happen. No matter how much plastic surgery you want to pay for it, you're going to get old. Okay? Do you want to be 60, 70 years old? And you could have had a man so many times in your life, but now you ain't got one. And for what? Because you've driven all of them out. Because like a man in his natural state, even I'm going to talk about the most beta of all beta males out there, like eventually something in his spirit is going to click and it's going to be like, I'm tired of this. And he's either going to leave you or, I mean, this happens too, just to touch on something. Some brothers get so tired of their woman, they commit suicide. That happens. They get so tired of it that they're just like, I can't even live with this woman no more. But I feel like I can't get away from her. If she's going to use my kids against me, she's going to do this, that. I'm going to just off myself. Or, touch on something else, there's been times where brothers will get violent with their own woman. Why would you even want that in your life? Why would you want to stress your man out like that? And why would you want to stress yourself out like that? Look, just do what the Most High tells you to do. You'll be fine. Okay? Right. Just do that. Don't give into this modern day society of, going for likes and prostitution, and because OnlyFans is prostitution. I'm just call it what it is. Right. It's prostitution. It's just legal in a sense. Or they call it a sex worker now. Right. They try to come up with new names to make it sound better than what it actually is. You're a prostitute. I'm just gonna say it. All right, don't do that, because those women are dead inside. They're relishing in the moment now. It feels so good to sin until it comes back to clap back at you. And I'm just end it with that. You got anything?
So like, yeah. My thing is just, the way that you see modern day women act today, their whole characteristic is dysfunctional. It's not a healthy mindset. You know what I'm saying? There's going to be consequences that you probably might not see now, but you're going to see in the future. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
You're going to see it. You're going to see it in the future because the way that they're acting now has just started. Like they barely started acting this way. You know what I mean? So we got women that probably in their early 40s, you know what I mean, on down, that are barely starting to see the solution to what they've been doing to themselves this whole time. You know what I'm saying? You had all these women that were beautiful back in, you know what I mean, the early 90s and stuff like that, and they started working their ways up to this mindset of, oh yeah, that independent, oh, I don't want no scrubs type of mentality. Like, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, like they worked their way up to that, and now they're starting to see how dysfunctional they are without a man to guide them. How lonely they are now that their kids are all grown and graduated, and now they just in the crib by themselves. You know what I mean? They decided to lack on what they needed to do as far as their future in relationships and in their occupation. You know what I'm saying? So they stuck with just average jobs because they wanted to whore themselves and sell their bodies for gain, and all that money's gone, or they didn't invest into nothing. All that stuff is gone. Like, you know what I mean? The money will fade when the beauty fades. You know what I'm saying? And if you're really that cute and you're really that fine, there's always going to be a woman that comes after you that'll be just as fine. So if a man got you for your looks, he's eventually going to invest his money into something new and something beautiful. You know what I'm saying? So they're making it seem as if it's a normal thing and it's successful because they want you to be in that situation of being alone, being mentally ill, mentally dysfunctional, because you allowed all your insecurities. You felt like you were protecting yourself. You felt like you were protecting yourself by never letting a man run his household, never letting a man run your day to day in and day to day out. You didn't submit to that man. You felt like you were, because if I submit to him, he's going to cheat anyways. So I'm just going to look stupid when he cheats anyway. Like that's a dysfunctional mentality.
That comes up a lot.
So women are becoming more aggressive. They're taking on this masculine spirit that makes them feel like I am the man. I'll run the household. I'll run these kids. I'll run this house. I'll run everything because, you know what I mean, the oppressor gave me the rights to do so. You know what I'm saying? So it's easier for me to do it. All right. Mm-hmm. Then what's going to happen? Exactly what we just speaking of just now. So don't fall into thinking that the norm is the way that you are supposed to act, the way you're supposed to be, because these women are not going to tell you how lonely and miserable they are. These women you see on television got all the money in the world, but are still lonely.
Damn.
Even Halle Berry, who was considered one of the most beautiful women,
she ain't got no man, right?
She lonely right now.
Yeah. What about let's touch on that real quick. Actually, so like I'll get to this question.
Yeah, I'll send it too.
To kind of touch on that real quick, like Jennifer Lopez. Jennifer Lopez, you know, she's Puerto Rican. That's an Ephraimite. That's a sister. You know, I mean, she's beautiful, but
lonely.
Like, she been married how many times? Like, they like Sly, if I could, they be cracking jokes on her. Like, she got so many engagement rings. She trying to get the Infinity Gauntlet like Thanos and stuff. I'm like, damn.
It's lucky. Even that heathen Madonna, she was considered one of the most beautiful at one time. She lonely, alone, and that beauty is not there no more. Yep. And that's what's going to happen to the majority of these modern day women. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? That's what's going to happen to them. Yep. And you don't see yourself on that route. But you're going to get there.
It's going to get there.
And your kids are going to hate you because they're going to be seeing all these times you done left me with grandma and you done dressed up in your little skimpy clothes and went out to the bars and the clubs and your vacations. Your kids is watching you. They're going to grow up to hate you too. And it's going to get to a point where you ain't got nothing but your kids and they don't even want to deal with you because they're going to know that you wicked. So all in all, that's pretty much all I got for modern day women. I mean, we can already see it happening to this day. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Women have been given women, if be a virtuous woman, be a woman, study off the women that you see in this truth. You know what I'm saying? These women, you know what I mean? These women, they got a lot of men that are going out to war today, going out to camp. Camp is war for us.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? They're gonna want something to come home to. You know what I'm saying? These women know exactly what they're gonna want to come home to. A warm meal from all those cold words they gotta speak at camp. You know what I mean? A soft touch from holding that cold steel all day at war. You know what I'm saying? And peace, because all of the hell we got to deal with when we out here going through these battles. You know what I mean? A woman gonna give a man a nice cold beverage. You know what I'm saying? A nice massage, a nice outfit, silky to give them something that soft to hold on to. You know what I'm saying? Like virtuous women know these things about their man. You know what I mean? They know what he's dealing with. They know the battles and the troubles he's going to while he's out here either serving his truth or just being in the world in general, because the world hates us as it is already. You know what I mean? Being a Black and Hispanic man, they already hate us as it is already.
Damn right.
So a virtuous woman knows what their man need to come home to. They're not going to give him hell after he done just already left hell. You know what I'm saying? They're not going to give him hell. They're going to try to create heaven in their home. They're going to create a heaven in their home. That's what a virtuous woman does. That's what a modest woman does. These modern day women, you can come home from a long day of hell and they just like, okay, finally you got here. I've been needing this. I need this. I need this. I need you to do this. I need you to do that. That's what modern day women do. You know what I mean? A virtuous woman knows what her man is going through. She tries to understand her man. She gets tapped in to the things that he does on a day-to-day basis, and she knows the hells that he's dealing with when he's out and about in this world. So what does she do? She creates heaven in his home. That's the thing that make a man stay. And that's the thing that you modern day women don't understand, and which why you got to deal with that being lonely thing. You know what I'm saying? Like it's already enough big hat women sitting in the front row at church already.
Saying
they don't need no more.
And they say, what was that delusional thing they always say? I'm married to Christ. I'm like, Christ don't want you.
You couldn't keep this man, but you want the ultimate man.
You know what I'm saying? And before we close the class, I see somebody. Okay, what if the brother gets upset and leaves his rib because she wants children, but he doesn't, but he does not put her away. He just leaves and never comes back to the house. That's putting her away.
Right.
No, that's putting her away. You should never put your woman away unless, if she commits adultery. But in a sense, if she commits adultery, then, that was never your woman to begin with. So,
right.
But nah, that is not acceptable in the eyes of the Most High. Not me. I'm
wondering how that situation even commenced. Like, are you bugging him to have children? Are you like, hey, I want him to are we creating a hostile environment because one person doesn't agree with the other? I don't get it. I would seek counsel. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like seek counsel for sure, because it seems as if, it doesn't just go off of, oh yeah, well, I want children, and he say I don't, and he's just like, because you want children, I'm just about to leave. Nah, it's something had to be back. Something back that situation.
I would say get counsel for that. But
get counsel for sure.
But with that, we're about to close the class. I just want to say Tawada to everybody that tuned in, as usual. For everybody, the comments are always greatly appreciated. Y'all. I just want to take a second to let y'all know that we definitely appreciate y'all tuning in. It definitely makes the class more lively.
Right.
And with that, Majim, just me and the brother up here.
Do that and then do this.
Oh, yes.
Oh, you can do that first.
Yeah.
That way I can just keep it in my hand. So right now we're going to do the saluting of the Torah.
Yahweh Hashem Yahushua Barak Yah.
Yahweh B'Hashem Yahushua Barak Yah. Lay down. Oh, you getting the wine and stuff.
Actually, it's wild. It's not.
That should be good.
Let's go. All right. Sorry, fix me. Sorry.
La Yasharala.
Which means to Israel.
Sorry, fix me. Sorry, fix me. Sorry.
Madyan Akwan Yahakwadam, which means to rise and face the east. Sisters, remember to have your heads covered. Brothers, make sure your heads are uncovered. Get on with the Lord's Prayer in Hebrew. The Lord's Prayer. Abanawa. Shabbat Shemayim.
Shabbat Shemayim.
Kodash.
Ayah.
Shemka.
Yahweh.
Malakufka.
Taba'ah. Ratazaka. Ayah. Aisha. Ba'arataza. Kawa. Ayah. Bashamayim. Nathanyanawa.
Lakum.
Call. Yawam.
Wasalaknawa.
Wasalaknawa.
Kabawatnawa.
Wasalaknawa.
Kabawathyanawa.
Wala'ah.
Tabayanawa. Manasaiwan. Abal. Tabashaynawa.
Mayan.
Rai.
Ayah.
Laka. Hamalakwath.
Wa'ala.
Watapara.
Lawalam.
Lawalam.
Amen. The Lord's Prayer in English. Our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Yahweh. Thy kingdom come. Thy will be done. In earth. As it is in heaven. Give us this day. Our daily bread. And forgive us our debts. As we forgive our debtors. And lead us not into temptation. But deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom. And the power. And the glory. Forever. So be it.
Hakak, which is the power in the Hebrew. Yahweh. Ba'Hashem.
Yahushua.
Kawakasha.
Nathanyanawa.
Hakak.
Darapa'ah.
Call.
Makala.
Makal.
Wadawa.
Hakak. Latahar.
Ha.
Matazariah.
Hakak.
La'aquayim.
Hamathiam.
Hakak.
Isle.
Rakawath.
Hatama'ala.
Lagarashun.
Ba'Hashem.
Yahushua.
The water.
Aman.
Hakak, the power in the English. Yahweh. In the name of Yahushua. Please. Give us the power. The power to heal. All manner of sickness. And all manner of disease. The power to cleanse the lepers. The power to raise the dead. The power against unclean spirits. To cast them out. In the name of Yahushua. Thank you. So be it.
Psalms 121 in the Hebrew. Asha'ah, Ayunya, Ahariam, Mayan, Yaba'ah, Isaiah,
Ma'im,
Yahweh,
Aisha,
Shemayim, Wa'aratiza,
Aratiza,
Aliyatan,
Alatan,
Amawat,
Amawat,
Wagolka,
Wagolka,
All,
and a one,
Shamarka,
Shamarka, Ana,
La'a,
La'a,
Yanawam,
Yawam,
Mala'a,
Wala'a,
Yashun,
Yashan,
Shawamar,
Shamar,
Yasharala,
Yasharala,
Yahweh,
Yahweh,
Shamarka,
Shamarka,
Yahweh,
Yahweh,
Tazorka,
Tazarka,
Ayad,
Ayad,
Yanimka,
Yanimka,
Yawamam,
Yawam,
Hashamash,
Yashamash,
La'a,
La'a,
Yakaka,
Yakaka,
Wayaraf,
Ra'arach,
Malayala,
Bala'ala,
Yahweh,
Yahweh,
Yashamarka,
Yashamarka,
Makor,
Makal,
Rai,
Rai,
Yashamar,
Yashamar,
Athnapashka,
Abnapashka,
Yahweh,
Yahweh,
Yashamar,
Yashamar,
Taza'afka,
Haza'afka,
Wa'afka,
Wawa'aka,
Ma'itha,
Ma'itha,
Wa'ai,
Wa'ai,
Awalam.
Awalam. Psalms 121 in the English. I will lift up my eyes into the hills.
I will lift up my eyes to the hills.
From whence cometh my help?
From whence cometh my help?
My help cometh from the Lord,
My help comes from the Lord,
which made heaven and earth.
which made heaven and earth.
He will not suffer thy foot to be moved.
He will not suffer thy foot to be moved.
He that keepeth thee
He that keepeth thee
will not slumber.
will not slumber.
Behold,
Behold,
he that keepeth Israel
he that keepeth Israel
shall neither slumber nor sleep.
shall neither slumber nor sleep.
The Lord is thy keeper.
The Lord is thy keeper.
The Lord is thy shade
The Lord is thy shade
upon thy right hand.
upon thy right hand.
The sun shall not smite thee by day,
The sun shall not smite thee by day,
nor the moon by
nor
night.
the moon by night.
The Lord shall preserve thee
The Lord shall preserve thee
from all evil.
from all evil.
He shall preserve thy soul.
He shall preserve thy soul.
The Lord shall preserve thy going out
The Lord shall preserve thy going out
and thy coming in
and thy coming in
from this time forth
from this time forth
and even forevermore.
and even forevermore. Psalms 83 in the Hebrew. Alahayim,
Alahayim,
all,
all,
Kamiyah,
Amiyah,
Laka,
Laka,
all,
all,
Lakarash,
Lakarash,
all,
all,
Ashakwat,
Ashakwat,
all,
all,
Kaya,
Kaya,
Ana,
Ana,
Oyebika,
Yebika,
Yahama,
Hayama,
Yawan,
Yawam,
Ra'ash,
Ra'ash,
I'll,
I'll,
Amaka,
Amaka,
Ya'ayamwa,
Iowa,
Sawada,
Sawada,
Wayata,
Wayata,
Ya'itazawa,
Tazawa,
I'll,
I'll,
Tazawanyaka,
Tazawanyaka,
Morwa,
Marwa,
Lakawa,
Alakawat,
Anakakinam,
Wanakakinam,
Magoya,
Magoya,
Wala'a,
Wa'ah,
Yazakar,
Yazakar,
Shum,
Shum,
Yasharala,
Yasharala,
Awada,
Awadah,
Kaya,
Kaya,
Natazawa,
Natazawa,
Laba,
Laba,
Yakadwa,
Nakadwa,
Ayaka,
Ayaka,
Bayath,
Ayaraf,
Yakarathwa,
Nakawatwa,
Aya,
Aya,
Adawam,
Adawam,
Wa,
Wa,
Yashamai,
Yashamai,
Alayam,
Adawam,
Awa'aba,
Wa'aba,
Wa'agariam,
Navagarium,
Gabal,
Gabal,
Wa'amawan,
Wamawan,
Wa'amalak,
Wamalak,
Kalashath,
Halashath,
Amyashabia,
Yashabia,
Tazawar,
Tazawar,
Gum,
Gum,
Ashawar,
Ashawar,
Nalawa,
Nalawa,
Aimam,
Amam,
Hayawa,
Hayawa,
Zarawai,
Zarwai,
Labunya,
Labanya,
Lawat,
Lawat,
Salah,
Salah,
Aisha,
Aisha,
Laham,
Laham,
Kamudyan,
Kamudyan,
Kasaya,
Kasaya,
Sara'ah,
Sara'ah,
Kayubyan,
Kayubyan,
Banakal,
Banakal,
Kayashwan,
Kayashwan,
Nishamarwa,
Nishabawat,
Bayan,
Bayan,
Dara,
Dara,
Hayawa,
Hayawa,
Daman,
Daman,
La'ah,
La'ah,
Dama,
Dama,
Shaitamwa,
Shaitamwa,
Ada,
Munada,
Yamawa,
Yamawa,
Kairab,
Karab,
Wakaza Abba,
Wakaza Abba,
Wakaza Ba,
Wakaza Ba,
Wakaza Zor,
Wakaza Zor,
Anai,
Wanai,
Call,
Call,
Nasayakamwa,
Nasanyakima,
Ashar,
Ashar,
Marwa,
Namarwa,
Narasha,
Narasha,
Nanawa,
Nawa,
Ath,
Ath,
Nawath,
Nawath,
Alahayim,
Alahayim,
Alahaya,
Alahaya,
Shaitamwa,
Shaitamwa,
Gogala,
Gogala,
Quash,
Shakwash,
Yapanya,
Yapanya,
Lakwa,
Lakawa,
Ash,
Ash,
Tabaira,
Tab'ira,
Yaira,
Ira,
Wa,
Wa,
Kalahaba,
Kalaba,
Talahat,
Talat,
Aryam,
Kayam,
Kun,
Kun,
Daradab,
Nabradapma,
Wasairaka,
Wasairaka,
Wabasa,
Wabasa,
Wapafka,
Wathpaka,
Tabahalam,
Tabalaham,
Mala'ah,
Wala,
Panyaham,
Palaham,
Kwalawan,
Palawan,
Waya,
Kwaya,
Kwashwa,
Kashwa,
Ya Shamka,
Shamka,
Yahawa,
Yahweh,
Yabashwa,
Yabashwa,
Waya,
Waya,
Mahawa,
Bahawa,
Adyai,
Ayai,
Waya,
Waya,
Parwa,
Parwa,
Waya,
Waya,
Abadwa,
Abadwa,
Waya,
Waya,
Daiwa,
Daiwa,
Kaya,
Kaya,
Atha,
Atha,
Shamka,
Shamka,
Yahawa,
Yahweh,
Labaka,
Labaka,
Aliwan,
Alawam,
Al,
Al,
Call,
Call,
Haratza.
Haratazah. Psalms 83 in the English. Keep not thy silence, O God.
Keep not thy silence, O God.
Hold not thy peace.
Hold not thy peace.
And be not still.
And be not still.
O God.
O God.
For lo,
thine
enemies make a tumult.
Thine enemies make a tumult.
And they that hate thee
And they that hate
have
thee
lifted up the head.
have lifted up the head.
They have taken crafty counsel
They have taken crafty counsel
against thy people.
Against thy people.
And consulted against thy hidden ones.
Against thy hidden
They have
ones.
said,
They have said,
Come,
come,
and let us cut them off
and let us cut them off
from being a nation.
from being a nation.
that the name of Israel
that the name of Israel
may be no more remembrance.
may be no more remembrance.
For they have consulted together
For they have consulted together
with one consent.
with one consent.
They are confederate against thee.
They are confederate against
The tabernacles of Edom
the tabernacles of Edom
and the Ishmaelites
and the Ishmaelites
of Moab
of Moab,
and the Hagarenes,
Hagarenes,
Gabal
Gabal,
and Ammon
and Ammon,
and Amalek,
and Amalek,
the
the
Philistines
Philistines,
with the inhabitants of Tyre.
with the inhabitants of Tyre.
Assur also is joined with them.
So also was joined with them.
They have hope in the children of Lot.
They have hope in the children of Lot.
Salah.
Salah.
Do unto them
Do unto them
as to the Midianites,
as to the Midianites,
as to Sisera,
as to Sisera,
as to Jabin,
as to Jabin,
at the brook of Kison,
at the brook of Kison,
which perished at Endor.
which perished at Endor.
They became as dung for the earth.
They became as dung for the earth.
Make their nobles like a red,
Make their nobles like a red,
and like Zaid.
and like Zaid.
Yea,
Yea,
all their princes as Zabah,
all their princes as Zabah,
and as Almunah,
and as Almunah,
who
who
said,
said,
let us take to ourselves
let us take to ourselves
the houses of God in
the
possession.
houses of God in possession.
Oh my God,
Oh my God,
make them like a wheel,
make them like a wheel,
as a stubble before the wind,
as a stubble before the wind,
as a fire burneth a wood,
as a fire burneth the wood,
and as the flame set the mountains on fire.
and as the flame set the mountains on fire.
So persecute them
So persecute them
with thy tempest,
with thy tempest,
and make them afraid
and make them afraid
with thy storm.
with thy storm.
Fill their faces with shame,
Fill their faces with shame,
that they may seek thy name.
that they may seek thy name.
O Lord,
O Lord,
let them be confounded
let them be
and
confounded
troubled
and troubled
forever.
forever.
Yea,
Yea,
let them be put to shame
let them be put to shame
and perish,
perish,
that men may know
that men may know
that thou,
that thou,
whose name alone
whose name alone
is Yahweh,
is Yahweh,
art the most high
art the most high
over all the earth.
over all the earth. All right. This, sorry, it's me. All right.
Shalom, Israel. Thanks for tuning in.
Shalom, Israel.